Hey guys, let's talk about tonight's episode of The Walking Dead. And oh my god. This episode was. I'm almost at a loss for words. I, I can't even believe what I saw. So, we start this episode and we see Lizzie running around with a walker, playing with a walker in this yard. And then it cuts to them basically back on the trail with Tyreese, Carol, Mika, and Lizzie, and of course Judith. And they stumble upon this home and they figure that they can go there, see what's inside, get some relaxation, some fresh water, and everything. So on their way there, though, they see this walker and it falls into like the cracks of the train tracks. And Lizzie begs Tyreese not to kill it. She says sometimes we have to kill them, but sometimes we don't. So he doesn't kill it. And then later on in the episode, Lizzie goes back over to where the walker is and is feeding it mice, just like she was when she was back at the prison. And of course, Mika is trying to tell her, listen, you don't understand that these are not your friends. They're not trying to play with you. They are dangerous and they're trying to kill us. And Lizzie's not really listening. It's like a screw has completely gone loose in Lizzie. And here's the thing. It's like she's a sociopath and she's always been a sociopath, and these are just the little traits that are coming out. So it's like, she tears apart rabbits and she nails them to a log wood just for fun. Like, she was feeding the dead mice to the zombies back at the prison. She has already had a screw loose for a long time, but it's like everything is just escalating every day that she's out and these zombies are around. So, not only is she playing with the zombies and then Carol comes out and kills it, and then she's literally screaming at the top of her lungs at Carol that the zombie was her friend and that she just wanted to play with it and it wasn't going to hurt her and she was going to show her that like the zombie wasn't going to hurt her. It's like, oh my goodness. And of course, when she's trying to feed the mice, and all of a sudden more zombies start coming out of the forest, and obviously they're burnt because there's a fire that is not too far in the distance, which is obviously where Daryl and Beth were a couple of episodes ago. And it's the cabin that they set on fire. So these zombies are coming out and now they're coming after them. So they all run back to the house and, they're all shooting at them. Mika, all of them. They're just, obviously shooting at them, trying to save themselves. Carol, Tyreese, everybody. And even Lizzie is. And Carol is even trying to say to her, listen, like, you did a good thing here. You have to understand that you're protecting us. You're saving us. And, Lizzie is still not convinced that these are, like, dangerous beings, right? And so there's this scene when they're in the kitchen and Carol's like, you're still sad. And she's like, I know what I have to do now. I understand what I have to do. And you're thinking, she's coming to terms with the fact that these are zombies, that they're people who were human. Now they're dead. And they're going to come back to try to kill them. And of course, when Tyreese and Carol went off on this walk, I'm like, you guys are going off and leaving these girls alone for way too long. And, they're talking, and Tyreese is talking about missing Karen and dreaming about her every night. And obviously he's still hallucinating because he's got this wound on his arm. So, he's telling Carol that, he still thinks about her all the time. And of course, Carol feels completely guilty because she is the one who killed Karen and Dave. And she can't tell Tyreese because would you want to tell anybody that you killed their lover or, the person that they loved? Like, you wouldn't want to do that, right? So, of course, she's still holding on to this secret, but you can tell it's killing her. It's eating her up inside. And as they start walking back to the cabin, they see Lizzie standing there with her hands dripping in blood and a knife full of blood. And Judith is on this blanket and Mika is laying on the ground and she's like, don't worry, she's gonna come back. I didn't stab her in the brain. I left her brain alone. She's gonna come back and you'll see. I'll show you. And it's like, oh my God. And then she says, I was about to do it to Judith too. And it's like, and, and it's Tyrese's face, his expression is just exactly how every person watching this show is just got this look of horror on their face. And he is just like, what just happened? And Carol is trying to talk her down, and then she pulls the gun out on Carol. She's like, no, leave her, let her turn, I want to show you. And it's just like, oh my god, Lizzie is donezo. So it's just a horrific and heartbreaking scene because she's just gone. Like she just has no sense of reality at this point. She's a sociopath. She's literally gone. And of course, Tyreese is just like, Judith, Carol's like, okay, you and Tyreese go into the house with Judith. I'm like, don't go nowhere with Judith. Oh my God. And she's like, I'll take Mika and I'll tie her up so that when she turns, everything, she won't run away or anything. And you're just like, oh my God, oh my goodness. So of course, this leads Carol and Tyreese to have this discussion like, what are we going to do? We cannot leave her in a home with Judith. You cannot be gone with Judith on your own. Like, we cannot leave her on her own. She cannot be around other people. And it's just a heartbreaking moment where you see the look again on Tyrese's face and Carol's face where they know what they have to do. And like, they have to kill her. Like, she is going to harm everyone around her if they do not take her out. And it's so... like, the last 30 minutes of this episode, 20 minutes, I was just like this. Oh my God. Oh my God. So when Carol and Lizzie go walking off and like towards the woods and, Lizzie's just like schlepping along and she's got this like little jovial like skip to her. And Carol's all like, let's maybe go get some flowers so that when Mika wakes up, she'll have some flowers. She's like, yeah, she'll like that. And then she's like, you know a lot. And she's like, I don't know everything. And then all of a sudden she's like, what's wrong? Are you mad at me? Are you upset with me? And she's just like, she starts crying. And it's like you see these moments of this little girl inside this crazy, crazy sociopath. And then she's like, oh, it's okay. And she's like, look at the flowers. Because earlier on in the episode, Mika and Lizzie obviously had this thing where if they were sad or something bothered them, they would look at flowers or would look at something pretty, I guess, and they would count to 3. So Carol says, just look at the flowers, just look at the flowers. And Lizzie's like standing there and she's crying and she's looking at the flowers. And then you just see Carol like put her hand on the gun and you're like, oh my God, oh my God. And you see her, Lizzie from behind, and then you see like them from a distance, and Tyreese is looking out the window. Oh my God. And she shoots her and it's like, this episode was brutal. It was so brutal. Oh my goodness. Wow. I mean, kudos to the show for going there, for having her own sister kill her, and then having Carol kill like Lizzie, knowing that, she had a daughter that age, and just reflecting back on her daughter in this episode when she was talking to Mika at the beginning and was telling her that she has to protect herself. She's got to be able to kill because it's either them or it's you. And Mika saying, being so sweet and innocent and not wanting to do it, but then knowing she had to do it at times when it was like crucial, but not being able to kill a deer. Like, just such poignant moments where, you could tell she was just this innocent, sweet child. So just knowing that her sister literally killed her, so devastating, just so devastating. And there was even that moment when they were all in the house and you could see Mika's like, all excited, and she finds this doll and she tells her she's going to name it this crazy name, and she's all excited, and Tyreese is sitting on the chair and Carol's sitting at the table and her sister's sitting at the table, and like and she looks around and it's almost like, yeah, we could be a family here. We could all live together. And you're kind of like, yeah, they could stay here. And it's like this one moment of like peace and happiness in this episode, when then literally the next thing is just like death and destruction, and you're just like, oh my goodness. And then to top it all off, at the end, Carol is sitting at the table with Tyreese and she's pointing, she has the gun and she slides it over to him and she confesses and she just says, I'm the one who killed Carol and Dave. I had to, I had to stop the virus from spreading. And, she's like, do what you got to do. And then of course, Tyreese like has this moment where he's like grabbing the desk and he's so angry, but he's like, I forgive you. You did what you have to do. I'm never going to forget but I forgive you. And she's like, of course, she's like, thank you, blah, blah, blah. And then the two of them, like, the next day just pack up and go. Like, with Judith, it's like, now they're off to go to Terminus because that is now where they have to go. I mean, oh my God. Oh my God. This episode, oh my God, was hard, but it was so good. Wow. 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 Oh my goodness. Like at the beginning I was like, okay guys, like this is the third episode now. No Rick, no Michonne, no Carl. And this is how I know that they are definitely a part of the foundation for me because I'm definitely having some withdrawal from those three. And I really enjoy their storyline. So, you know, this is now the third episode that we haven't seen them. And I was like, come on, guys. Like, I really want to see those three back on in an episode. Like, I'm dying to see them again. And, you know, the beginning of this episode was a little bit slow, but, you know, you could see that they were really digging deep into this whole Lizzie, you know, and how just like slowly, like they've chipped away so much from her and she's just like completely gone. And so watching her go through this episode was fascinating. And then the last back 20 minutes, oh my God. Oh my God. So, okay. I'm hoping next week we get to see some Rick, Michonne, and Carl. But with an episode like how it ended, I can allow them not to have been on screen. Cause damn. Oh my goodness. I don't even know. I mean, what more can I say? Guys, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Like, how did you feel? Like, what were your emotions? Because my emotions were like, like, oh my God, no, oh my God. Like, I could not believe that. I couldn't believe it. I mean, wow. Just wow. Okay, guys, there's not much more I can say. Leave a comment down below. I will see you next week. And I don't know how they're gonna top this. Oh my God. All right, guys. Bye.